and welcome to the Rose System. My name is Sarah and today we are doing the February setup for our bullet journal. The voiceover in this video is not scripted, so please bear with me and let's get into it. Okay, so everything we use for our bullet journaling is this A5 bullet journal from Notebook Therapy. We do love our Notebook Therapy, and all the stationery we use is in this pencil case here. So we have our 3 coloured pens, black, blue and red, which we use for making notes, writing things down. We then have a fine liner which we use to create our spreads. Along with creating our spreads, we've got the 2H pencil and an eraser, and a ruler. We don't always use the ruler, but it does look nicer when we do. Then we have 6 highlighters for the different areas of our life. For example, orange is for university, so that our plan is color-coded. Finally, we have whiteout pen, very helpful, and we have in the past used a grey brush tip fine tip pen for setups as well. So let me show you the beginning of the year layout that we have introduced. So we start off with our grid spacing page. This just helps to work out common spacings. We have half, third, fourths and fifths. And then we also have our year at a glance spread. This is really helpful for just determining, hey, what day is the 5th of April? What day is everything else? So this is really helpful for us. Next, we have our gift list and wish list. So gift list is a place for us to write down gift ideas for loved ones, for friends, things that we want to give others. And then wish list is a chance for us to write down the things that we want that we wouldn't necessarily purchase for ourselves right off the bat. And so this wish list gives us a list of things that we can ask people for when it comes around to our birthday or Christmas, when the inevitable "what do you want?" comes up. Next we have our index, which is a chance to just write down the list of events. So yeah. Next we have our routines. So we have created a morning routine and an evening routine to help us reset our circadian rhythm, to make sure that we've got everything done so that we know what we are meant to do and at what time. We also have our Sunday reset, which is a list of chores to do on a Sunday to help prepare us for the coming week. Next, we've got the future log. As you can see, we haven't used it yet. The future log is a way to write down things that are occurring. We have stuff to write down in April and so on and so forth. Next, we have the 2 goals for the year. As you can see, we haven't filled them out. December and January have been quite difficult, and so we haven't wrapped our head around what we want to do for this year. We know that one of our goals will be reading 6 books, 3 fiction and 3 faith-related books. Yeah, so we have those goals. We don't quite know what our second goal is going to be hopefully over the course of February we will have a better idea. And that's the yearly spreads that we've set up. The other spreads in the yearly spreads are related to our university and has identifying information in them, so we are not going to show you those. So let's get on to February. So I forgot to hit record, but let me show you what I have done thus far. I've done the title page, just very simple. Next we have the calendar. Now the calendar is different to the traditional box. We have 4 sections: events, work, university, chores. And we have found that this structure works better for us because we find that the traditional calendar layout just meant that our information was scrambled and we weren't using it and it wasn't organized, whereas we use this one a lot more. And so each row is a date and each column is a different aspect of our life that we need. Now the 2 greys is to let us know where the weekends are so that we can quite easily determine, oh, this is a Wednesday, this is a Monday, so on and so forth. So that's our calendar that we use. Next we've got 2 blank pages, one for prayers, so our prayer points for the month. When we meet up with friends, we can write their prayer points right in here. We also have a page for notes, things that we need to write down. Next, we've got our health tracker. So we are tracking the chronic pain in our body and taking notes of additional health issues that we are having. Now I'm going to finish setting this up and go on to voiceover for you. Okay, so for the health tracker, we've got the areas of our body we're tracking pain in. So this includes migraines, pain in the neck, pain in the shoulders, upper torso, lower torso, hips, knees, calves and ankles, as these are the most common places where we get pain. And then down the side we have each date. And so we rate on a scale of 1 to 10 the level of the pain. And then in the section on the right we have the option to write any additional notes. What kind of pain? Were we sick? Did we have COVID? What was going on? So that's our health tracker. Next up we have our habits. So we are tracking 6 habits this month: brushing our teeth in the morning, using the bullet journal, exercising, stretching, hobbies and quiet time. In our journal we made the mistake of writing journal twice, and so the 5th category is in fact hobbies. We are hoping to get back on top of habits that have fallen away over the past few months and get on top of habits that we've been wanting to do for quite some time. Hobbies is an important one, just having a little bit of enjoyment in each day. Just something fun, crocheting, reading, watercolor paints, just something to do. Quiet time is important, so spending time with God. Unfortunately, that has fallen off recently. Next up we have our mood trackers. So we have 2 trackers for this month. The first of which is a table where we scale the day as a whole on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being great and 1 being awful. And so we hope to create a line graph just tracking the month as a whole, because you can have myriad of emotions throughout the day, but you can't tell if the day was overall good or not based upon the emotions. And so we're hoping that with the addition of this second tracker, that we will get a more rounded idea of if there are any patterns in the month and how we are going. So yeah, you rate the day on a scale of 1 to 5, add a dot, and then connect it to the previous day. And so you end up with a line graph. The emotions we are tracking this month are calmness, happiness, contentment, affection, excitement, bliss, feeling meh, hopelessness, nervousness, stress, depression, sadness, fear, anger, hypervigilance, and we keep note of self-harming to see if there are any patterns there as well. Fortunately, we've had a good streak with self-harming, so that is really exciting. So we are hoping that between these trackers we will get a more rounded idea of what is going on. Next up, we have our sleep tracker. This is hopefully a way for us to get on top of when we go to bed and when we get up in the morning. And the idea of this tracker is you fill in a line of the times when you were asleep. So hopefully, all going well, you have a line straight from the beginning through to 5 a.m. and then a line picking up from 9 p.m. through to the next day. And we're hoping that it will just give us an idea of when we are sleeping, if we're having naps, the frequency of the naps, the frequency of when we are getting to bed and when we're getting up in the morning. So that's our sleep tracker. Next up, we have our reading log. So this is a chance for us to take note of the things that we've read throughout the month. And so we have a section for the date, the title of the book we've read, the chapters or page numbers, and any notes that we need to take about it. So a summary of the chapter or a summary of the pages. This one's pretty loose to allow flexibility. Next up, we have our social media spread. So this is a chance for us to write in the timings of how much we are using the apps. We're hoping to get an app that lets us track how long we are spending on it. We have sections for 6 social media accounts, but the ones that we are using currently are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So we have space to add more if more come along. The social media tracker is really helpful for just getting us an understanding of how much screen time we're having, the frequency and the timings, just so that we can see if there are any problems with how much media we're consuming. Finally, we have our monthly review. This is something that we have put in our devotional journal in the past. We've moved it over to our bullet journal. These are things that we want to know to review the month. So we have 3 highlights, 3 overall gratitudes, 3 difficulties, a scale of the month from 1 to 10, notes in our bullet journal about things we want to keep, things we want to remove, and things we want to add. So a chance to have a look at the month and see what layouts have worked and what layouts haven't. What do we need to include to optimize how our bullet journal works. And finally, we have a section to pray about the month and to pray for the month coming up. And so we hope that in doing so we can make a difference in how we view our months and prepare to head into the following month. So now we get on to the weekly spreads. So we're trying a new style of weekly spread this coming week, where the days of the week are on the left and hopefully helps with just putting in dot points of events to get done. And then on the right hand side we have 3 columns, one for YouTube and general life, and then 2 columns for the 2 university subjects that we are currently doing. And this gives us a chance to write down the steps that need to be done throughout the week. Gives us a chance to organize them into days, just so that we've got everything to add. And we hope that with this layout, we will be able to do better at staying on top of our tasks throughout the week. Next up, we have our weekly food schedule set up that we've started doing. We are hoping to get better at tracking our food and tracking what we are eating when, planning our meals a bit better, planning our grocery shops a bit better, just so that we can stay on top of everything that we need to do. So we have each row is a day of the week, starting on a Monday down to a Sunday, and then each column is a different aspect of our meals. So we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, we have a section for water, and finally on the far right we have a section to write out groceries that we need to pick up in the following week to get the next week's meal plan. And this weekly spreads are made a week in advance, so that we can do our meal planning as the week progresses. So we do one of these setups each week, but the goal is to be a week ahead so that we have everything in place. So we're hoping to be on top of our life a little bit more in this coming month. Hopefully a little bit more organisation will help us to do better. So here's the final layout to our February calendar, our prayer and notes, our health and habit trackers, our mood and sleep trackers, our reading log and social media use, the monthly review that we do at the end of the month, and our first couple of weekly spreads. Thank you for watching. We hope that this video has given you ideas about your own spreads, things you can include or remove if one of our layouts just doesn't work for you. Let us know about layouts you include in your bullet journal spread if you keep a bullet journal. If you don't keep a bullet journal, how do you stay on task and organized? It's really interesting to hear different ways that people keep organized in this crazy world. Thank you for watching. We hope this video has helped you. Please know you are loved by the incredible God of the universe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!